21C really plays a pivotal role in the community. It's Proof on Main really, I think, is the main focus, which is our restaurant and lounge. It's the place where everybody starts their night, kind of finishes their night. Any social event that's happening, whether it's a fundraiser or a gala or something happening with the arts in town, really kind of starts and ends at Proof. From a art perspective, this is a great place where people come. We have artist events, lecture series, performances that's open to the public. Sometimes it's for a charge, oftentimes it's for free. But we really activate the space for the community to be sure that people are really experience this wonderful contemporary art museum. It's open 24/7. I'm really blessed from the perspective of how we approach our team here. We often talk about the building, the design, the art, getting people to come in for the first time, but it's really the culture of our people, that humanity that keeps people coming back. We believe in this perspective of the culture of yes. So we always want to say yes or find a way of saying yes for our guests. And I think what really happened from Steve and Laura Lee, the founders, really started this approach of kind of embracing everyone, making sure that your uniqueness and your authenticity was not only acceptable but celebrated. So we really believe in no uniforms for our front of house people, our front desk, our restaurant people. And what I found is by keeping people, allowing people, encouraging people to be their authentic self in their own clothes. Maybe it's a little funky hair. We encourage that. It provides for a really interesting guest experience. We often see hotels or restaurants where people are put into uniforms, and it instantly kind of changes who that person is, and it kind of gets in the way of a real guest and associate exchange.
No, I'm the chief curator, effectively, for all of the museums that are part of 21C. It's now a 3-venue museum, so we have exhibitions and installations in Louisville, Cincinnati, and Bentonville, and I'm currently working on some of the site-specific commissions for our new 21C museum hotels opening in Durham and Lexington next year. So I organize the exhibitions, work on the projects that are going to be permanent, and also work very closely with our museum team in each site on developing local programming, so that we have cultural events happening in each site that are lectures, performances, poetry readings, musical performances, a whole wide range of events that are related to art and culture in those cities. I lead a team currently of 10 arts professionals who are working for 21C, who work on the installation, the maintenance, and caring of the art. We have 2 team members in Cincinnati, 1 in Bentonville, and the rest are at headquarters working closely with me. 21C collection is a 21st century collection, so it's all very contemporary art. It's very international, artists from all around the world. There are over 800 artists represented in the collection now, and they work in a wide range of media, from traditional painting, sculpture, and photography to film, video, installation art, performance art, and new media, or what we might think of as digital or virtual art. If there is a thematic coherency to the collection, it's a humanist one. It's very much about the human experience of living and dreaming in the 21st century. And to do the exhibitions, there are different things that can happen. We have solo exhibitions. Other times we have group exhibitions. So these are exhibitions composed of artwork from a lot of different artists. And those emerge from looking at what are some of the prevalent themes in the collection, what are current events happening that the artwork can address and incite interesting conversations around. And also looking at the spaces, the design, the architecture of the sites will often give us a notion of what kinds of art will look best in those spaces. A total of 30,000 square feet is currently dedicated to contemporary art by 21C.
At its properties, or?
That's because we are a multi-venue museum. So at each property, there's a variation because the buildings, of course, are different. There are wonderful hidden spaces, and in every project there are spaces that one might overlook when you're looking at plans, but when you're in the space, especially if you do engage the vision of an ambitious young artist, you'll be able to transform spaces that might otherwise be overlooked. So, there's this wonderful space between what were two buildings in Louisville. We have a piece by Ned Kahn, The Cloud Rings, that sends puffs of smoke into the air and out into the city. Makes you look back. And of course, we have downstairs in the basement level in Louisville, a basement space that was totally transformed into an immersive art environment by Freeman and Lowe.
Oh, well, my husband Lacey and I moved into this neighborhood 12 and a half years ago here at the corner of 7th and Main, and it was very blighted. There was a little tiny Italian restaurant right here on the corner, and then Bunbury Theater was in the back of the building, maybe about 60 or 70 seats in it, and had a few productions a year. And every Friday at about 5:30, you could hear a pin drop out here in the middle of Main Street. There was no traffic, nothing going on, no great restaurants around, and then you wouldn't see another car until about 8 o'clock on Monday morning. Well, then all of a sudden, 21C Museum Hotel became a vision, a reality that Steve Wilson and Laura Lee Brown wanted to prove to the rest of the world that art could drive commerce. So if you build a museum hotel and you put great art in it and you have great food like we have at Proof on Main, then other businesses will start developing. So the greatest thing happened right across the street over there is St. Charles on 7th Street, another restaurant. When you go down the street, you've got the Kentucky Museum of Art and Craft, more than tripled attendance there. Right down the street there's the Science Center, bustling with activity. Well, art has always been a serious component of our economic development and our whole education system. I'm talking about our K through 12 education system, as well as quality of life. And we've always loved art. We're one of the few cities in America that has all 5 of the major performing arts in residence, with an opera and an orchestra, a ballet, a regional theater, and a family theater for children's participatory. But when 21C started putting this fabulous contemporary art collection available to the public for viewing 7 days a week, 365 days a year, people started collecting and buying and talking about art. Everybody wants to own art now in our region, so we want you to own art too.